How are you? I'm glad you are watching and you joined our class. Today I want us to have an important discussion, a topic that is important. Sorry, my line is not straight, but I want us to have a short discussion on this topic of uh, square and square root, square and square root, square and square root. Of course, here is like two things in one, but is the reverse of the other, is the opposite of the other. Square is the opposite of square root, and square root is the opposite of square. So in our first session, I want us to have the uh, square of numbers, and I want us to define what is a square. When you talk about the square of a number, square means multiply a number by itself, twice. A number multiply by itself twice. So you multiply a number by itself twice. That is the meaning of a square. When I talk about a square of a number, it means multiply a number by itself twice. For example, if I want to get the square of x, square of x, square of x simply means you multiply x by itself twice. So this means that I will say it is x multiplied by x. So it's simply a number multiplied by itself twice. So that you can have so many examples of what is a square, but a symbol for that, the symbol for square is normally written as x, then you write the 2 on top here. These two, we call it power, x power 2. When a number is written like this, it's called x power 2, and this is the symbol for square of a number. So this is x power 2. This power is raised here. It is not on the same level with x. So this is the symbol for that. If someone writes a number like x power 2, this means that you are getting the square of this number, and it means x multiplied by x. So this is the meaning of square of a number, just a number by itself twice. And you can have a lot of examples here. You can have a lot of examples. I can have example for numbers. I pick real numbers. For example, I work out this one. Maybe the instruction tells you find uh, the square of a number like 25, and maybe number 2 we have a number um, like Roman 2, we have a number like 3.5. So they want me to get the square of this number. So I'll come here and do like this. The square of 25, this one is the solution. Square of 25, it means 25 you multiply by 25 and you get your answer. When you take 25 multiply by 25, this one will give you 625. So I have gotten the square of 25. Roman 2, this one was Roman 1, and Roman 2, this one. The square of 3.5, it simply means that you take 3.5, you multiply by itself, which is 3.5. And the easier way is to convert this one into improper fractions. And this one into improper fraction, 3 multiplied by 2, then you add 1, or 2 multiplied by 3, then you add 1, it will give you 7 all over 2. So you multiply the number by itself. That my answer will be 7 by 7 is 49. 49. Then we are dividing by 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4. Then I get my answer like that. I can change back into mixed fraction, which it will give me, this one will give me an answer like 4 goes into 49, 1 time by 4, 1, and here it goes 1 time, and in 9, it goes 2 times because of 8, then remainder 1. So this is the same as 12, remainder 1 over 4. So this is the square of this number. This number multiplied by itself twice, it will give you that. Sometimes this is, if I call this an example 1, you can also be told just to work out example 2. They can tell you to work out. This is example 2. Example 2, let me write this one here down. Example 2, maybe they tell you the instruction here is work out. And maybe Roman 1, they have given you a number like um, 3, like that. And also Roman 2, they have given you a number like 2 all over 3, 2 all over 3. So the solution for this one, then they have all raised to this one to power 2. So this one you can see, it simply means it's the same as this one. So I multiply the number by itself uh, uh, twice, and I see what I will get. I can add another one, maybe a decimal. Now that I didn't have a decimal here, maybe I find 0.024 like that, the square of that. I will do the same thing. I'll come and say the answer for this one is 3 multiplied by 3, which is 9. That is the square of that number. And this one means you are taking a number by itself 3 multiplied by 2 all over 3. And the answer will be 2 multiplied by 2 gives you 4. And 3 multiplied by 3 gives you 9. That is how we work it out. The same case to this one is just a number by itself. So whatever I'm writing here is what I'm writing here. So I'll come and say the number here is 0.024, 0.024. I multiply by itself 0.024. So that my answer will be, if I take 0.024 multiplied by 0.024, this is the same as if I take 24 multiplied by 24, will give me 526. Then we have how many decimals in total? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my decimal will move 1 step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just simple illustration that I put 0 point. So the decimal has moved 6 steps. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then in between here we put zeros. So our final answer will be 0.000576. So look at your answer carefully. The decimals are not 3 because this is what I'm working out. This is the meaning of a square. I'm multiplying the number by itself twice. So this is an overview, the square. Square means you multiply a number by itself twice, and that is how we get that. But most importantly, now that we understand what is the meaning of square, we now have another method. This is the general method of getting the square of a number, and it's the common, and it's the most important. It's the most important about this topic, that anytime we talk about square, it means that we are multiplying the number by itself twice. But now the method 2 is now uh, using tables, and this is where now I want us to take some time using tables, using tables to get the square root, using tables uh, to find, not square root, sorry, to find a square using tables to find a square. I'm supposed to write the square of this using table to find square. And square, of course, the square of numbers. And the same thing, so we can be able to try and find these numbers and we try to find their squares. I can pick any number and see whether the answer will be the same. So this is a kind of method too. It's like another way of getting the square of numbers, but specifically I want us to learn how to use tables to find the square of numbers. And I'll pick a number of examples. For example, let me first of all begin with this one. Let me take 3. I want to find uh, uh, square of that one using tables and I want to see how my answer will look like. If I have an example, the first example here, I pick number 3 and the second example, I want to pick a number like 7.8 and Roman 3, I want to pick a number like 14 point um, 14. Let me pick a number that uh, can we can trace easily together. 3.784. A number that we can lies between from 1 to 10, from 1 to 9, the range of values. So I want to use tables to get this. Uh, and here I need to be very specific here that we are using tables because we have more than one method of getting the square of numbers. You can use a calculator, but the instruction in mathematics, instruction supersedes even the answer. So I need to learn how uh, to use tables to find the square of numbers. Now, if I know that maybe you've never interacted with the tables, so I'll take a you where we have tables that we see how a table looks like. I will open the table and let me open where we have the table and this is how the table looks like. It is a 4-figure mathematical table that we use. We have different editions and depending with the ones recommended by the next. I don't think this is the latest. I think we have the 7th edition. So always when you want to buy a 4-figure, check the edition that you have so that it will be helpful. We keep on revising these tables so that we have the latest. So this is how the table looks like. And this table is full of so many things. And if I take you to the table of contents, all these are tables. All these are tables. And to know which one I am supposed to use, I will go where you have the square here. This is what I want to make use of. That is page 19. So I'll go down up to page 19 so that I find where we have the table of square. Page 19, this is 21, this is 20. So I look at this. Before that, this is squares. I begin from that. Before that, there is simple codes, but I'm not interested in that. I always, before I read any value, I first of all check. This is now the table of squares. This is the table of squares, and this is what now we are talking about. The table of squares. So we want now to learn how to use this table to get our answer. If we go back to what I want us to work out, this one, I want us to read from the table this value. Allow me to sketch here just a summary of how that table looks like. We'll see 3 things there, 3 things. Generally we have 3 columns. We have the first column. If I open another page here, let me open a new one. uh, another page here. Basically, you have three things. We have the first part, we have the table part, that we have the column of X. Then we have the column that has been written 0 all the way 1, 2, and the last value here is 9. This is the second part. This is 9. Then we have the last part that has been written add on top here, and this one begins from 1 to again up to the values that you're having there. So basically, you have three columns subdivided in between, especially this one, but we have basically three. This the first column, the second one, and we're having the third one. Now, when I want to use these tables, now we want to get our 3 square. So I will come to this column of X. If I open my table, I go to this column written X, so that is simply called. I'll have this column of X here. This is what I am checking, the column of X. And that column of X, I come and check what I need there. I need to get 3 because our question is 3 squared. So I come here and check 3, and because 3 is not attached to anything, it's simply the same as 3.0. There is no any other number after that. So I'll assume it is 3.0 because 3.0 is simply the same as square. So because it does not have any other value, I'll come and get in this column, I read the value that is here. I hope you have the table around you. I want to read the value that is here. So I'll go to my table where you have the table here, and I look at where is 3. This is 1.0 all the way. This is 2.9. So you have this one. So the value that I want us to read is this one, which is 9.00. So the answer that is here, it is 9.00. With 3 zeros, let me confirm 9.000. Yes, so that is what I have. Therefore, my answer in this, I will come and write the answer here is 9.000. So you can see the answer is the same here, the same as that. So it's another method of getting the same answer, but it's very important that I express my answer this way, so that this is a sure way of showing that I've used the table. I've used the tables. Because if I don't show by this, then it means that there is an issue. Now, what about the second one? I'll do the same thing. I will go to my table, and in my table, the second part, now I take 7.8. Then 7.8, because it does not have any other number here, I'll get the value that lies here. So in my table, I go where you have the table there, and I want to read 7.8. 7.8 is somewhere here, 7.8, and you can see the value that is here is 60.84. 60.84. I'll go back to my table here. The value that lies here is 60.84. So this is now my answer, 60.84. I will come and write in my answer that the answer here is 60.8884. So that is when you have one decimal. What if you have more than one? For example, this one, I have more than one decimal. I will come and do the same thing. So here, I need to be very careful the way I am reading my table. Uh, it is we want to read the value of the value that you have here, which is 7.3.784. So I will come to the same table, and in the first column here, I check uh, 3.7, 3.7. And now because you have 8, I'll come and check where you have 8 here. 8 somewhere there. I have 8 there. Then I look at what lies here. So you can see 8 is here. So 3.78. Then I check what is the answer here from my table. I want to check what is the answer that falls here. So if I go to my tables again, I am checking 3.78, 3.78. This one is supposed to be on top here, 3.7, 3.7. Then you have this still the same as this value. This 8 here is the same as the one that you are having on top here. So no need of going up. So 3.78. Just come and say 3. Let me increase. I hope you can see mine. Let me increase the size like that. 3.78. 3.7. Then I go where you have 8. 8 is here. Then 3.7. I hope I'll be able. Let me draw a line here. 3.7. This one should be a straight line. 3.7. Then 8 is somewhere here in this column. So like that. This one is 8. Let me illustrate for us. So this is, you can see where they are coinciding. So if you read for me the value here, what can you see here? This is 14.288. So I come in my table and write that the value that falls here is 14. Let me clear this one. 14.288. That is what you have there. But still, we are not done with the number. It was 3.784. So the last, this is the first decimal, the second one, then the third I will check here. So I go where you have 4 here, and I ask myself, what is the number that lies here? Okay, so I go back to the table and I check the number that lies on a straight line again, but now where you have 4. And you can see the number that lies there, now that the 4 is here. If I put like that, the number that lies there, it is 30. You have 30. So I'll go back to the table and I have the answer that lies here. It's like that. So now how do I read my answer? The answer here will be, I'll pick the value that is here, 14.288. Then this 30, whatever I get in the third column, I say this is the column 1, where we are having x, then column 2, where it begins from 0 up to 9, then column 3, where it's written add here. So this value, 30 here, I will add from the farthest right. These are decimal values. Whatever is here is a decimal value. So I'll begin writing from my farthest right. So I write 0, then you have 3 there. Then the instruction here is to do what? Is to add. So I add this one, and I see this one is 8. We are having 11, carry 1, Then here you have 3.4, you have 1. So this is my answer. I'll come here and write the answer to what we are having here. This is our answer. I'll come and write that the answer is we got first of all 14.288, then we added 30, so that we are having 8, 11, carry 1, we are having 3, then you have 14. This is how you get it. So this is our answer here. This was for Roman 1, Roman 2, and Roman 3. Okay, so that is how we get our answer. The last part is what about when you have the decimals are more than 3. The decimal are more than 3. So let me pick the last number whereby you are having the decimal that are more than 3. For example, a number like 9.834 8 squared. You can see from our table that the farthest I can go, the first decimal is here, the second one is here, and the third one is from this. For example, 7.38 4. Meaning if you have a number more than that, it might be tricky. So if I have a question that is having more than 3 decimal places, because my table can only read up to 3 decimal places, so I round off my answer to my question to 3 decimal places, so that I have 9.83. I check this one, has it reached 5? If it is reached 5, then I add here 1, so that here you have like that. So this should be, you convert into 3 decimal places, so that I can be able to read from my table. So I'll come again from what we have from the table, and I try and read what is 9.8. Then here, what should I check here? I check 3. I check 3 here, so that I try and see what is the answer here from the table. Then the other number is 5. So 5, maybe I add it here in the column of add. I give my answer from this. So we can check together. So you tell me what is the value here and what is the value here. I'll give you few seconds to check that from the table, as I also check mine. So I'll come to my table. I want to check 9.8. You can also check yours. 9.8. 9.8. Have you gotten yours? Right. 9.8. This is my 9.8. 3. 9.83. 9.83. Then 5. 5 is somewhere here, like this. Hope this is what you've gotten. So having that 9.83, 3 is here, given on top here. So the answer here, I hope you've gotten like mine. The answer is from the value here, 9.83. The value here is 96.63, and here the value is 10. So now how should we write our answer? I'll come and pick this one, then I add this one, so that the answer will be from my working. I'll come and say the answer here will be 96.63. 3. Then I add 10 on the farthest end, and my answer